my story can help somebody pause for just a half a second and get a better outcome, then it's my responsibility to push through those emotions of feeling like I should have known better and to share it. We were buying a new house. We just gotten married, and we said as soon as we get back from Puerto Rico, we're gonna start house hunting. It was in January. So we found everything that we needed, and we put the offer on the house, and this was now the time for us to go ahead and finalize it. Now, there was quite a bit of time from the time they accepted our offer to the time that we actually closed, but that was fine. It gave us time to make sure everything was prepared and ready. And so what led to this is a back and forth with the title company. And so one of the things that I did, being proactive, I said, hey, how do I wire this money? You're gonna receive an email. It'll have some kind of a lock or a password, and it'll have a PDF file associated with it. And I'm like, okay, great. And I'm like, well, can we at least test it so I can make sure I have the password? It never worked. I was like, whatever you're sending me, I'm not able to open this document. I don't see what the closing instructions are. You don't have to wait until the day before. Like, you can send it to me anytime, right? All those things said, it led to a wonderful opportunity the week of the closing for me to now get an email from the person who I'd been talking to saying, okay, Lilah, here's the instructions. Now, granted, I've been waiting for these instructions for over a month. And so I figured they're like, okay, well, it's almost time to close. Let me just send you the PDF file since you're having a hard time with the password. And that's where they got me. So I get this email. It looks like it's coming from the person I've been talking to because it's nested in this long conversation. It's got the instructions in a PDF. I'm like, okay, great. I'll take care of this. I'll do this. Well, because of COVID and because of, I guess, labor shortages, the bank was like, you can't just do this over the phone, which I didn't know you couldn't do over the phone. I do everything remotely. Like, you have to come in and you have to schedule an appointment. So one of the things that was interesting is the scammer said, hey, you have to do this right now. And I'm like, well, hey, the closing's not till Thursday. It's Monday. I don't have to do it right now. I still have time, right? But I was like, they seem like they're getting a little attitude, like in the email. What's with the attitude, right? So I called because I was kind of put off by the attitude or tone I heard. And I called the person and I was like, I left a message like, hey, I got your email, but they said I can't go in right away and do this, so it's not going to be today. Well, nobody ever called me back. Somebody could have said, hey, I didn't send that email. I didn't hear from anybody. I'm there, I'm ready, right? Everybody's excited. Closing's today, kids are excited. Mom's got like all her stuff packed, waiting. Only to find out the money's not there. And they're like, we didn't receive any money. I said, I sent it. My attorney's sitting there, my real estate agent's not there, but my husband's next to me and the money's not there. So yeah, that's what happened. So now you're sitting there and the guy says, how do you know you sent it? I was like, well, let me show you this email. Here's the instructions, this is where I sent it. He goes, within seconds, the guy looks at the email, my phone, he hits the drop down button. He goes, that's not from us. I'm like, how do you know to hit the drop down button? Who would even think to do that? So then my attorney is like angry and he's like, how could you do this? My husband's like, what? And then they're all like, the money's gone. You're never gonna get it back. You just lost all that money. And I've got all these people looking at me like, how could you be so stupid? I was thinking, even with all of them looking at me, when my temperature was rising, my heart was starting to freak out, and I was about to go into this spin, I said to myself, what is the next best logical thing I can do? So the first thing was, where can I get some more money? I figured out a way to get that and tell the mortgage guy, hey, I am gonna be able to close. Maybe it's gonna cost me a couple extra points because of timing, but we're closing on Tuesday. We'll have the money Tuesday, so set that up. The next thing was to find out who could really help me. And I did my research and I started looking in different things and I found a company and I got to the CEO right away. He said, hey, the money's still there. It's gonna take some time. Do these 4 things. This will matter, all those other things won't. I lost that money, but it's there. Maybe I won't get back all of it, but most of it's still there. Stay engaged. Take accountability. And don't listen to what everybody else has to say all the time. Find out for yourself. Don't kind of just sit back, well, it's your money. This is a time when remote and virtual aren't helpful. Call. Have the people on the phone before you wire. Hey, I'm at the bank. I want to make sure this is right. I'm going to stay on the phone until you get the money. Call. Make the time. And if you can't get those requirements met, if people won't agree to those requirements, then don't wire the money. A lot of times we figure, and not only am I in tech, but I'm a business person, and so I figure I should know better. Or we figure that we're not vulnerable because we're so in control of everything. Don't assume it can't be you. No matter what you do for a living, or where you are in your life, or how efficient you think you are, I would say if you're about to do a transaction where you're using a wire of any sizable sum, anticipate a scam is about to take place. Then your spidey senses will be up. When I say spidey senses, your awareness will be up to a place where you're in a better position to fight. And then the other thing was just realizing how vulnerable and helpless I felt. Vulnerable and helpless that I felt. Made me appreciate the fact that there's more here than just my vulnerability and my hurt feelings or my feeling of lack. This is about people, and if my story can help somebody pause for just a half a second and get a better outcome, then it's my responsibility to push through that vulnerability that I'm even feeling now, and to push through those emotions of feeling like I should have known better, and to share it. And that is why I say yes.